How's your portfolio looking, James?
Doesn't look nothing. No, it doesn't look very good at all.
You're not mining Bitcoin?
No, I'm not.
Whatever that is.
No, why would you do that? That's the easy way to make money, apparently.
What, buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, seemingly that's the future. That's like where it's all at.
It's
Mining
only
Bitcoin.
worth something if someone backs it up. Who's backing it up?
Well, the bit I don't really get with Bitcoin is, like turning it into actual cash, like getting it out
Yeah.
and like actually be able to make use of it. It's all very well making it and having it there in a digital currency.
Yeah. But you've got... One way is persuading someone it is worth X amount and then selling it to them. But like you say, just trade or buying something with it.
Buying something physical, like buying a house or buying a car or buying whatever, something physical that you can actually use.
I still don't think that's possible because, again, no one's backing it.
Mm-hmm. But in fairness, I can see all the reasons why there's people want it, because it's basically borderless trading of currency. And I can see there's so many reasons why people want it to fail, because governments can't regulate it, they can't tax it, you can't basically interfere with it. So like trading currency, there's how much money gets generated from someone wanting to turn pounds into euros. Like every time I buy machinery out of Italy, there's an currency exchange firm that are making a bit of money out of me needing to buy euros. So you don't have any of that. So
no, true. Yeah, it's not regulated. It's not. There's the blockchain behind it, which keeps track of where it is and what it is, and its history of who it's been with, and
that's the bit I really don't understand, and I've tried to understand that bit, the whole blockchain thing. It's
kind of just it's a database that just can't be messed with. The moment that it can be messed with, your currency's worth nothing.
Yeah. But who says it can't be messed with? Who decides that?
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah. And so I've tried to understand it, and I can see why people like the idea of it, but also see why people don't want it to work and why there's quite a lot of risk involved with it.
It's a wonderful notion. It is. It's a wonderful notion, but as with anything of its type, there's a lot of hype around it, especially at the start, because it's if you get in quick now, that's where the big bucks are made. If you get in now, and that's where a lot of this sort of gains momentum, in that people see other people buying into it and think, oh, we need to buy into it as well.
Yeah.
It's a self-perpetuating thing.
Yeah.
It's the best Ponzi scheme in the world. Well, we listened to that podcast about it. That was it on BBC? Missing Crypto Queen. All about one coin.
Yeah.
And that was just one big massive Ponzi scheme.
Well, did you listen to the one about the Australian, Alan Metcalf?
No.
That was another one.
Yeah?
That was an Australian chap, and basically that came down to it was a Ponzi scheme where it was taking loads of people's money. In fairness, that wasn't necessarily to do with currency. It was AR. It was a really convoluted mixture of different things.
Yeah.
That just has never come to anything, and I think it's $60 million has disappeared, and he's died now. So it's there's a loss. Which is what we were going to talk about is podcasts. We do listen to quite a few podcasts.
It just works when you're by yourself, and a lot of the times, if you need an earplugs in anyway, just whack your little earbuds in, find something to entertain you, and off you go.
I do really like it for when I'm doing work in the workshop, just when you're doing something that's mundane.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I'm becoming more aware of the fact that actually it's quite useful to have something on that you sort of half listening to sort of occupy your subconscious. Because then I don't end up thinking, oh, I should be doing this, or I should be here doing that. You sort of focus on the job you're doing, and then subconscious is listening to the...
Well, yeah, true, because you can't do anything else at that point in time.
No.
So I tend to then think I might as well be listening to something and being entertained, but also something that's got a massive amount of educational value to it, as in I'm learning something from this. I'm learning either a way of the world or things that have happened in the past, and hopefully being a better person for it, James.
A better human.
What do you call it? Is it personal growth?
Yeah. It's the, what is it? What's the corporate word saying for it? Professional development, is it?
Oh, there'll be some twattery term involved in it. Yeah, there will.
It's the personal development for the self-employed.
Well, pretty much, yeah. But
hell,
honestly,
there's some stuff on, like the one that we've both listened to is Sport's Strangest Crimes.
Yeah.
The first one about
again BBC, is it?
Yeah. About Shergar. And who was it that was... I can't remember who it was now, but it was the most unlikely person.
Who would you get to narrate a series of podcasts about the abduction of Shergar? What well-known, well-known in the racing circles, or even animal lover,
respected within the racing circles.
Yeah. Who should we choose? How's about 90s white rapping sensation Vanilla Ice?
Which he
fits the bill.
Yeah, it was good, to be fair. He was good to listen to, but he was like, this is a bit weird.
I was just taken aback of it to start with. I went, is this another ill-judged BBC's way of trying to get down with the kids?
Yeah.
I know who we need. This will appeal to the masses. Yeah. Bring me Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. And then there was the one about the cricket, £1 million cricket game in South America. That was quite interesting.
That was all rigged as well, wasn't it?
That was mental. F1, the one about Formula One and the cheating. And the
disgruntled McLaren worker that went to his local copy shop.
No, it sent his wife.
Sorry, that was it. Sent his wife
to the local photocopy shop.
Yeah.
With a load of... Was
it Ferrari worker?
It was McLaren with Ferrari information, I thought.
That was it. It was copying Ferrari information. Yeah. At his local copy shop.
To put it onto a disc.
With Ferrari and confidential written at the top of everything.
Yeah.
Clandestine.
That was quite mind-blowing, really. Because some of the stuff that people have done, you're like, what were you thinking?
Exactly. But the best bit about that I found out was one of the McLaren drivers knew about this underhanded thing going on. Because I think that they tried to come half clean to start with, hadn't they? And just not bothered with it, or it isn't really of any use or help. But then one of the drivers, because he wasn't happy at not being number one or being given preferential treatment, he then threatened the boss. He said, if you don't give me preferential treatment and you don't make that second driver toe my line, I'm going to go and tell on you. Mm. And then, after maybe having half an hour to cool off and maybe talking to his manager, he went running back to the office going, no, I'm very sorry, I didn't mean it, honestly.
Yeah.
But by that point in time...
Oh, he'd already made the phone call, hadn't
he?
Yeah.
He said, well, I'm not going around with this hanging over my head, I'm going to...
Yeah. I did see, while we're all talking about Formula One, I like to try and follow it. I don't follow it very well at all. I'm not very good at sitting still and watching it, but I do quite like the engineering and the innovation and everything that comes out of it. And yeah, so I sort of half pay attention to it. I did see that there is there's an expression of interest let's put it that way, as going back to V10 engines, which I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. That's going away from the whole hybrid electric.
Yeah.
Just...
Well, I liked it because a lot of developments were made from Formula One because there was such an amount of money poured into it for innovation that some of these were then trickling down into, into your everyday cars.
Yeah.
But we're sort of hailing from the generation of... When I was young, it was the start of like sequential gearboxes and traction control.
Yeah.
And then active damping, and we sort of were brought up through that. But recently, I don't know who's driving. I couldn't give a toss. I'm interested in the engineering, but as a spectacle, no. I would far rather watch touring cars go and knock the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining.
Rubbins racing.
Yeah, it's surprising what they get away with, or the... is not necessarily acceptable. What happens?
Yeah. Oh, it's far more entertaining. Or even, I'd rather go on YouTube and say watch an old race. Or something. Back when they used to have some proper sort of ding dongs and just far better spectacle. Right, short race. You're in cars that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
Admittedly, they've been messed with, but. Ooh, there's a Mondeo packed outside as well.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah, look what my Mondeo can do on the M6.
But yeah, it just a far better spectacle.
Yeah.
Far better.
And I think
I like rallying, but going to watch rallying, you just vroom. Oh, that was...
Yeah, it's a lot of effort for...
Once, yeah.
But what I would say is, when we were at Harper, I used to go and watch rallying in Wales. They aren't even running a GB rally now. There isn't a GB rally, which is a bit, I think, poor. Bearing in mind that, there's two, at least two of the teams that I know of. There's M Sport in Cumbria and Pro Drive down in wherever it, not Wiltshire, south somewhere.
Yeah.
From here, anyway. It's just the way this country's gone. It just doesn't entertain that sort of stuff. But I did go and watch rallying when it was in the early 2000s, when it was McRae and Ford Escort Cosworth, and they just sounded well. Every gear change backfiring, just giving it all.
You can hear them coming from a distance.
The sound of an Impreza on flat out will always just... And this is what I think a lot of people don't get about combustion engines. For people who are a certain way out, whether it be a motorbike, whether it be a tractor, whether it be a car, a wagon, whatever it might be, there's just a certain thing that when you hear a wagon or a tractor or someone working hard, and there's just a sound, or you hear a racing car at flat out doing however many 1,000 RPM, it just makes your hair stand up. And it gives you goosebumps, and that's what electric cars don't have. That's why Jeremy Clarkson said, "I can't do Grand Tour anymore. I just cannot get excited about electric cars. They are just white goods."
Yeah, true. Because admittedly, you'll sit in a car now, like more modern cars, even with internal combustion engines, and they're so refined that you do feel a bit removed from things. But when you put your foot down, you can still hear them. But a lot of cars now, they're piping noise into the car.
Yeah.
Or it's artificial noise coming through the stereo.
I
think Beamers...
If I knew that, I'd be like, ugh, that's a bit pants. I'd rather not have it as think it's false.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's all... That's driver entertainment. And if you don't know any different, well, you could be hoodwinked and amused by it. But I prefer a bit of noise.
So our family car is a 2014 Audi A4. S-Line, so it's a bit of power to it, four-wheel drive. And every time I get in that car, I just really enjoy driving it. It's a manual. I've got a pickup that's 3-year-old on Saturday, and it's like it's automatic. It's just meh. I'm not that bothered about driving it. It's just dull.
You're never driving it for the joy of driving.
No, but I get in our car and I forget, and then I get to the end of the lane, pull out onto the road, and every time I think I really enjoy driving this. I really like it, and that's because I like cars, and it's a family car. It's nothing special.
No.
But it's good fun to drive, and I don't know. It has a bit of go to it. So yeah.
Which, if you are going to spend a lot of money and spend a lot of time in a car, it might as well give you that feeling. All the better if it does.
Well, if it's your thing, not everybody's into that, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people don't understand it, and almost like anybody who's sort of that way out is a bit backwards.
Yeah.
And a bit, I don't know, unrefined, whereas they're somehow superior because they don't get excited about an engine revving or a tractor purring or a wagon pulling on.
These are... Everyone's different.
Yeah.
There'll be people out there that'll listen to a little bit of Vivaldi or something and you go, oh, did you hear that little... Just exactly.
Yeah.
They'll hear a little clip of some weird, obscure Radio 4 nonsense. And, oh, isn't that exquisite? And, oh, it's noise to me.
Yeah.
Whereas, a decent inline 6 going for it. Yeah. It's all right, is that?
There is a clip, and I have still yet to find it. There is a clip of an Audi Quattro, the old version, the Group B rally car, and coming into a corner, and basically all four wheels spinning, coming into the corner, changing gears as he was going sideways round the corner, absolutely flat out. And I was like, I wish I could find that clip again. It was absolutely brilliant. Just full chat, all four wheels spinning, banging through the gears as he was going around the corner. I'm like, get on. But it came up on Facebook a while ago, and I haven't been able to find it again. But that's
was Group B the pinnacle of motorsport?
That's a good question.
Was it the pinnacle of rallying? I don't doubt that rally cars now, even though they've got half the power, will probably be faster.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
But are they the same spectacle? No.
Because if for no other reason than, even if the Group B is slower, there was less electronic intervention. So that was more driver, it was more mechanical. There was a woman to start with as well. Michelle Mouton was in it. Yeah. I'm not aware of a female rally driver. There certainly wasn't in the 2000s when I was.
There was the Simonite sisters, but I don't think they...
Yeah, but they never made it to
They were more...
Well, they were into Land Rovers, weren't they?
Land Rovers,
yeah. And yeah. Not, I mean, at the top end of rallying, I mean, what would be
Not that I'm aware of.
No. So, there were so many things that were just... Yeah. So...
But I think it was all born from, right, there's this new group, new league, just all bets are off. Just as long as you can make 200 of them, race with
Have at it.
Yeah.
Get on. And that's when, Audi introduced the Quattro, the four-wheel drive system that no one else had. God, it would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Mm. And then everyone else was playing catch-up.
Yeah, because it was considered cheating.
No, that's very unsportsmanly. Yeah, but we're so much faster.
Yeah, but we're kicking your ass all the way. But in fairness, what was quite surprising is that the fact that some of the two-wheel drives were doing a hell of a good job of competing and keeping up with a four-wheel drive, even though it's got twice the traction in theory.
Well, even now on tarmac stages, I can't remember what groups they were called, but there was basically your WRC cars and the two-wheel drives, the little two-wheel drives, which I think they were limited to 200 horsepower as opposed to 300 of the bigger ones. But on tarmac events, with them being smaller, there's not much in it.
No. And in fairness, that's what got me about rallying, is the fact that, like, you go around a race circuit in Formula 1 or any circuit sport, yeah? The circuit, in theory, other than if the weather changes, doesn't change that much. Might just cool up, heat up, but it's it's reasonably consistent compared to rallying.
Yes.
Which every vehicle that goes through that stage, especially on a gravel stage, or that it will have changed.
Yeah. It's getting torn up.
And they're down to hundredths of a second between drivers. That's always impressed me.
What impresses me about rallying is the fact that they're going in absolutely committed and they don't know. Yeah. They're co-drivers telling them what to expect, but they don't know from experience.
No.
They're just going off a couple of numbers that he's spitting at him while they're wrestling. It's impressive. It really is.
Yeah.
And the feet dancing around from pedal to pedal and braking mid-corner just to balance the car up. Yeah, it's impressive. It is. It's good. It's like Formula One. I don't doubt that Formula One, it's an hour or two of just being abused inside the car. Just trying to rip your head off, and that will take some doing. Yeah,
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Go on then.
I think rallying takes a bit more skill.
NASCAR then. It's an oval circuit.
I don't want to be disparaging about it because I don't understand. Are there things at work there that I just don't get? How hard can it be? You're all going round and round in a circle.
In an oval circuit.
And yes, there's corners-ish.
But they're banked as well.
Yeah, so what's stopping you?
I think what makes the bit that I have watched it, and I do quite like watching it today, even though it's like, well, this is in theory, like what makes it interesting is the fact that the cars are so matched. There's so little between the cars, even though they're different.
Well, I think now they are kind of the same car, aren't they?
Well,
aren't they the same shell, just with different stuff plastered on?
Well, no, they are different underneath. Well, within reason, because the rules are so tight. And I think that's what makes that interesting is the fact that you've got so many cars so similar in such a small space. The sort of the stuff that's what makes that interesting.
But how does driver skills shine out there? Then?
Well, that's in fairness. As I said, it's strategy more than anything. Having the right strategy has more effect there than it will do in Formula One, because you haven't got that many opportunities to make up any lost time. Like if you on Formula One, obviously you've got so many different opportunities and different places where you can make up that fraction of a second to catch up. Whereas
true. There's a lot more braking, there's a lot more accelerating, so there's a lot more.
So you could leave it later, brake into a corner.
Actions.
Yeah.
But even then, I still don't understand a lot of the banked circuits. Is it just that you can physically only go in at this certain speed, or you will wash out into the wall?
It must be. Yeah.
We don't see anybody braking really.
No, they built one at Rockingham, didn't they, in the UK? And I always wanted
Corby down there.
I thought it was further into East Anglia, but you might be right. I always wanted to go, but I think it's shut now. Because obviously not that much demand for oval racing in theory over here. But I did see a video of one of the drivers basically did something that has now been banned. Stamped on the accelerator in NASCAR, and basically went round the corner on the wall, just flat out. And I think he said, if this doesn't work, I'm either going to see the checker flag or God Almighty himself. Right. And basically slingshotted a load of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he won or not, but yeah, overtook a lot of people because he had naught to lose. Well, you can't do that in any other motorsport.
No.
And I think, I can't remember what they called it, but it has been banned, and you're not allowed to do that anymore.
I don't know anywhere apart from on a scale electric track where the bumpers are that forgiving.
Yeah, or a computer game.
Well, yeah. Oh God, I used to like really, really early racing games on the computer, and you just come barreling into a corner, and you just see the car in front and say, "You are my brakes."
Thank you.
Yeah, and then just keep going.
Yeah,
not very realistic, but
yeah,
not a good thing to practice on when you're young, before you start driving on
when
the
you
road.
think you can use the car in front to brake.
I try not to do that.
No. Well,
Have we got a thumb update, James?
Well, yeah. So I put a knife in my thumb. It was very sharp, and I'm very lucky that I didn't cut any tendons or anything. It's looking better, but it's still. I keep catching it on stuff.
Yeah, but it's not opening up though, is it?
No, it isn't. It's just bloody stupid.
It's all right. You've still got your thumb.
Yeah, I was very lucky with that.
Just mark it up to experience.
Yep. Doing something I shouldn't have been doing because I had better things to do, but at the time thought it was necessary. Or anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's getting better. It will repair, not so bad.
Good.
So yeah, like you say, mark it down to experience.
So this car that you love, James, this Audi that you really enjoy driving.
Yeah.
How much time has it left with the family, James?
Oh, well, not a lot. Because having, what have we got? A 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 2-year-old, and another one due in April, I pointed out, and we hadn't realised, that 2 car seats and one... So, obviously, we aren't going to all fit in it anyway.
No.
But what we sort of haven't realised was that 2 full-size car seats, because of a baby and a toddler, doesn't allow any room in the middle for a 9-year-old.
Not really. No.
So it can't do the school run with all of them. And I really realised that this week. I was like, we had been on about a different vehicle, but it's seemingly the pressure is on significantly more now to source something that would fit 2 full-size car seats and a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Yep.
So yeah. So disappointment that the Audi was going to have to go.
So you want... It doesn't have to be 7. It can just be 6 seats.
Yeah. We've been talking about it for ages. And there's various options, whether it be a van with 6 seats, but it had to have 2 doors on, because fighting with a child a toddler and a baby from one side would be challenging. And also, and then there's cars. And Lindsay put on, what was it? Farmers' Wives group on Facebook, what's everybody got for this situation. And in fairness, a lot of people came back with an XC90 Volvo. And I started Googling XC90 Volvos, and I was amazed at how much money they are. So we're talking sub 10 grand. And
that's where you're aiming.
Yeah, sub 10 grand, and ideally less than 80,000 miles if we can get it. Well, some of them XC90s were like 15 grand, and they'd done 130,000 miles, and they weren't young either. I was like, hellfire, these
Can't
Serious?
put a price on safety, especially when it's your little cherubs, James.
No, you can't.
And they know that.
Well, Lindsay reckoned that no one's ever died in an XC90, which is like, well, that's impressive, but
Oh, God.
I don't know where she found that.
This sounds awfully like Madam is heart set on her.
No, in fairness, no. But they're just amazing. I was amazed. And that, in fairness, on the flip side to that, this is what we've discussed in the past. You've got them holding the money like they do, like absolutely incredible. And then you've got the opposite end of it, which is the Range Rovers and all that stuff, which is more money to start with and like a couple of grand.
Because, Range Rovers never had the practicality of offering all the seats.
No.
If you wanted that, you'd have to go for a Discovery.
Yeah.
But some of the problem is the older Discoveries with the V6 in them, the snap crankshafts for
which we've
fun.
discussed before.
Yeah. So then you're looking at a newer one, which again, lovely thing.
Yeah. But no.
You might find one at 15.
But I also think, well, in fairness, if they are holding the money like they are, maybe it's not as daft as it sounds, because depreciation-wise, it would hold its own, and you could do 50,000 miles in it and still have a lump of money in it.
Yeah. The whole car scene's moved on from when we were younger, anything that got to 100,000 miles, at the most, it's going to be worth $2,000.
Yeah.
And that was just across the board. Whereas now, 100,000 miles on stuff, it's still $20,000.
Yeah.
30,000.
Yeah.
Which it's not such a milestone as it was. And it shouldn't be. Because in that time, things should have moved on.
Yeah.
Things should be a hell of a lot more reliable. But unfortunately, with the advancement of technology and the more things that are or new stuff that are put on cars, that's technically new. So that's still needs, time and a few bugs ironing out of it. So it's always new shit that they put on. When was the last time that you heard of, say, cars, old school, they might like engines getting really tired or worn out or throwing a piston or it's fairly rare.
Yeah.
Or even, Christ, from when we were younger, there was some cars out there, it's hot now, I'll have to wait for 5 minutes for it to cool down before I can start the bastard again. There's not. They are a lot more reliable.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff on there, and they're just getting integrated with more and more. Everything's got an ECU attached on the back of it.
Yeah. Or several.
Yeah. And, I can't. Well, we said about Teslas. Jump into a Tesla to do something. Oh, no, sorry. It hasn't had an update. We apologise. You can't drive it.
Yeah, that would be infuriating, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, in fairness, it's unlikely to be an XC90 because they're just massive money. But it's possible.
There's older ones, James. You could always, you come and slum it with me. I've been looking at XC90s. Love them. Like them. Because they've got a split rear tailgate as well. So you can sit on the back and dangle your legs.
Which we've discussed that before as well.
That's
when
the
do you
best
think
reason
you're
for
actually
having a
going to do
Range
that?
Rover. When am I going to do it?
Yeah.
When my Hilux decides to kill itself.
Right. No, you'll be waiting a while then.
Well, I don't know. That realm apparently, or was it? I think maybe just after them, the chassis were made of puff pastry, I believe.
We ought to be sending it on its way to the east.
Oh yeah.
So it can have a cannon strapped to the back of it.
Oh, I would love that. It would be in its element.
I'm home.
Right, let's go.
Yeah. So I think it might be currently the Ford S-Max looks like the possibility because it's right money and mileage wise it's
not
feasible.
A van.
Well, yes, and it's not a van. I quite like.
Fans are good. Fans are
Yeah.
nice. You said yourself.
I do like them. We had one. Well, I had one when I worked at Crone. That was brilliant. That was a transporter, and I hired one 2 or 3 years ago. Did a trip around the country, and that was really good. So yeah, we'll just have to see what we decide. We've got 5 weeks, and then it's going to be holidays anyway. I think it's like Easter holidays at some point, so it's not immediate pressure. 7 weeks, and we need a vehicle.
Not immediate, but
Yeah.
you need,
It soon could be immediate.
you need to be looking.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, right, we will bash on and get some work done. It's pretty fresh in here, isn't it? Again,
It is a bit.
even say it's like getting on for the end of February. It's still chilly.
See, this is why I lamb in April.
Yeah.
I've been burnt too many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're all safely wrapped up inside their mummies still.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame
I
you.
was thinking.
Still. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Right. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in a bit.
Right. Oosh. Give you your fancy little microphone.